G'day, welcome to the workbench. Today we're working on a Valkyrie. This is my one. I've already given it a minor spring upgrade, nothing too special, just an 18 kilo. She's got a prophecy barrel in there. Other than that, all I've done, a bit of putting on the stock here, so she's all nice and solid. That's just a bit of carbon wrap over that. But today, I've got a special treat. Thanks to, ignore the e-sun filament, thanks to one of our local boys at Foam Mods WA. We got this. That is a talon adapter for the Valkyrie. So no more needing to use these anymore. So we got that, mag releases, spring. We got the screw preset. I'm loving the quality on this. Still got to do some finishing in the final, but that's 3D printing for you. But quality is awesome, and it's just an amazing piece of work. We've also got buffer tube, so that will be a fun bit to stick on. Nice and quick as well. And I didn't even request this. This is something that's chucked in, and this is the short muzzle rifle. There we go. 3-point. It's 3D printed. Now when it comes to these types of riflings, I do prefer resin, but these layer lines are pretty damn good, and I don't think they're going to cause any issues in terms of causing too much friction. But I do plan on putting in a bigger spring as well, and maybe a forgrip, assuming it doesn't break. One of the boys, another local, he's done a lot of work on these, really impressive work, and he's recommended that pretty well due to using the amount of spring strength, 2-point freaking forgrips, which is what I got this one on. Is just because I like my angled forgrips, and it gives a little something extra, and it has to be so far forward because of my hand keeps hitting here. Hopefully that's not going to be an issue with this new one. Is bad. Other than that, oh yeah, minor mod. This is the bearing. So yeah, see one of the bearings there. She's got a couple, and I don't mind it. Take this off. The seal on this thing's pretty good. Let's tear it down and get some new parts on it. Alright, so all I've done off camera is just loosen up these two little screws here, just so I can slide that barrel out. Put that up on the side. Now, where to start? Well, I'm going to start by taking these three here out, so I can put this off, and then we'll see where we have to go from there. I haven't taken one of these fully apart yet. A couple of these you do have to be careful with, because they do have a tendency to be rather weak. Alright, so I'm going to take this off, and then I'll come back. Alright, so I'm going to take in here off. I'll remove these two screws from just in here, and I've also taken screws from the sides of this rail and just slides straight out. Now this all should, there we go, separate into two separate bits. And let's have a look how this is attached. Alright. I'm hoping it's just something behind here. I'm going to pull that off, have a look, and come back. Alright, sorry about all this jumping around. Alright, so I haven't found anything behind these just yet. Still not sure if I'm going to take them out. So I'm just going to leave them for the moment. Screws obviously handy, but I did work out. Yoink. There are the screws. Not sure if this is light. So just going to get in there. And hope for the best. Now, we are still very much getting used to doing videos. If this has been a little bit more better of a view than my last modding video, I'd love to hear. Don't always keep them together. Yeah, I know the last video ended up running a hell of a lot longer than what I meant it to. Obviously why I'm trying to avoid doing that. I've got a few jumps on this one. Oh, that came right off. Alright. Here's side by side. So Foam Shop WA have done an awesome job. You can contact them on Facebook Messenger. That's how I did. And very quick response rate. Alright. Well, that looks like that's just about ready to go on. So I'm just going to quickly screw this back. Yeah. And I'm sure you guys don't want to be watching this. But these only 4 screws. And then we'll get back into the main part. Another reason why I prefer to show the whole process in comparison to jumping is purely just, I don't know, sometimes YouTubers, when they're making videos, they leave things out. And that's something which has really screwed me over in terms of 3D printing, especially. The amount of beginning guides that are there for 3D printing that leave out so many of the basics down to the simplest of things. It annoys the hell out of me. But in short, if you're having issues with 3D prints, just level your bed, check your files. If you're using resin, check your resin exposure time. Make sure your bed's all leveled with your FDM, and you'll be fine. I'm one of those people who's constantly got a broken printer. When I say constantly, I mean constantly. But I make do. Now, which of these magwell is not? I do like the original hand bit. So what I might do, for the sake of this, I don't really want to be pulling too much of this part anyway. So now, this is actually a really good design. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to take that off. All bits which we don't really want to be taking off, but going to for the sake of modifying. I'm not gonna lie, I just want to go snap. Alright, give me a second. I'm just going to have a quick look at this. Alright, so unfortunately, even after taking the grip apart somewhat as much as I could, that'll be alright. Pay attention to which way you're putting this on. So yeah, I ended up just snapping it off. Look like it's a solid piece, as you can see. I have just hit it with a knife just to smooth it off. Once again, it was taking a lot longer than what I meant it to, but we're on the home stretch. So now we're probably just putting everything back together. So I've opted for this one just because after losing the handguard, I want something now. Alright, So let's get this thing back together. Looks very all over the place at the moment. So first things first, let's get this plunger system back. Now I am going to take a bench, swap 18 kilo out. Now I do have 20 kilo turf spring. I just found this. I have no idea what size that is. She's slightly longer, slightly thicker. But for the moment, we're just going to go with the 20 kilo. Because that should be plenty. Oh yeah, that's plenty. Good sign when like you're already under that much pre-compression, it's pushing your plunger out. And everything on back to front today. Best part is it's all on camera. So you'll get to see. Not gonna lie, this is extremely tight to put back together with this spring. That's what makes these types of mods fun. Because if they were easy, everybody would do them. And personally, everybody running around with a 20 kilo Valkyrie. Jesus. That's a scary thought. Well, the funny part's going to be if this breaks on camera. Yeah. I have seen this use a 20 kilos, or a version use a 20 kilo spring on stock internals. It's actually what sold me on the Valkyrie. Especially this particular model. But whether every model is going to be able to handle that, I don't know. I'm just going to slap 20 kilo on this. I know she handles the 18 without too much issue. Alright, I got a bit of a gap. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's just in the body lines. I'm not sure you can see. That's on the blasters in itself, like this. Alright, now the fun part. Oh, she's not staying with the 2 kilo spring. You know, let's see if we can get her to pull back and catch. Alright, that spring is not usable. Which is really annoying. Alright. Well, if that's the case... Sorry, I'm going to pause again. Take this one out. Because it's obviously under just a little bit too much compression. Do have another one that's got a few cores cut off. But, yeah. I wonder if we can just do it from that end. Hopefully we can just bust this back end off and do it from there. Yeah, at this point, she is very tough to prime. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take this end off and I'll get back to you. Alright, I'm back. So here's that cut off one I was mentioned before. So here's hoping if this doesn't work, we're just going to go back to the original. Well, that's a good start. Now, I did, here we go over this front one with some extra tape because I do have an air seal issue just there. Excuse me. Sorry about that. When the child beckons, you answer. Alright. Just trying to get this one made at least like spring lined up. So to get all that out, I literally got away with just only having to take this end screw out. Tell you what, there's definitely a journey going through and finding this all out. Alright, test. And after all that. Right, so I've probably got an extra coil too many or some ridiculousness preventing me from being able to catch. I don't know. Yeah, this kind of disappointing, but you know what? Chrono last game through my other barrel, whilst not as consistent, yeah, I'm doing what I can. Yeah, I don't know why. catch isn't liking that. But, oh well, it is what it is. And you can't do much about it. Now, I refuse to release my special blend. But I will let everyone know what I use is probably, you know, it's gotten good reputation when people have tested it, but I am aware a lot of people generally don't use my choice. But you'll see why in a sec. It just spreads. It's unending. Way able to do everything with very little, and it lasts a very, very annoying long time. It's very hard to wipe off your fingers. Alright. So, whilst for me, this game put back together like a dozen times, Ricky and Mike all pretty separately. For you guys, I can imagine this to be rather annoying one now, and I do apologise. So I just want to see it together, just fast forward through. So there's all these bearings. Might help. Make sure it's actually pushed together. So this entire front end is literally just two rails on one pole, right the way up to just past the magwell. Sorry about that, just knock the camera. So I'll definitely have to give Bluey some definite props from Foam Mods WA. This is just quality, man. Like, I can't wait to actually stick a mag in that and have a good feel of it. I've got a few things to do first. Yeah, these screws. Little tip is angle this up, and that way you won't be busting your 3D threads, 3D printed thread trying to get your screw to angle its way in. Nice big bang. You can see the screws tucked down underneath. So I was just pushing up slightly, making sure that's an angle. Alright. Go. Well, on the bright side about having this lower spring in it, and I can swap this front handguard out without an issue. So let's check that seal. Yeah, I'm definitely having a bubble release here. I do have an air escape out the back, so probably need to tape that one. But she's fine for the moment. There you go. That's an angled banana in there. I'm not gonna lie, I've just about knocked that a couple of times. But that is awesome. Alright. Now let's get this on. Just take 2 seconds. I don't have enough orange tips. Whoops. Give me 2 seconds. That was very fortunate. Yeah, just fell in my box of bits. So unfortunately, doesn't fit. Not on my barrel. Like I said, I'm using a prophecy barrel. Just that tiny bit too tight. On a Worker Swift barrel though, here's one I prepared earlier. No. Unfortunately not. The original Valkyrie barrel. Yeah, might just need a file. But none of the barrels which I have, no, none of the barrels I have particularly fitting it, unfortunately. Well, continuing on, unfortunately, it happens. Alright, so we can get rid of this. Love it. Chamois padding. That's all it is. Bit of chamois padding folded over with some carbon wrap holding it on. That's all. Now I have to admit, this is the part which I've been finding the funniest, because out of everything, the last thing I need is more blasters with the stocks. But they all look very similar, they all do operate the same, all look the same. But what can I say? I'm a sucker for a buffer tube. Now, I will point out, I do have a minor concern about some of these surfaces. I normally do my top layers a little bit thicker, it's slightly see-through. Try and get some light on that. Yeah. It doesn't really show up on camera. So I do have concern about here being a weak point. I have 3D printed before buffer tube, and that was the weak point. But hopefully that's not going to be an issue which we're going to find. Because that would be rather disappointing. I'm just going to pause this and come back to it for you. I'll be back in a sec. There you have it, all reassembled. Looking nice. That was just one of my other blasters. Yeah, I can't give Bluey enough props. These are, it's nice. Wish the camera would focus so you could actually see that. There we go. They are flush. Right. So nice. Alright, mag. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Might swap to the other one. Don't really need a finger guard on this one. And if anything, it's just creating a bit of an issue for me. But the mag release itself, so stupid. Yeah, no, I actually can't break it. Oh, that's good. Well, let's bust a couple rounds through. I'm just about to move back to about 15 feet. Sounds like she's hitting pretty hot. So there you have it. Magwell and buffer tube from Bone Mods WA and from Zhen Duo. The bearing rail freaking. Hope you enjoyed. Blast on.